What's going on there, guys? Good evening. It is the Earthmaster here on this side of the microphone, on this side of the channel. It is Saturday night, party night, and there's no doubt a lot of crazy people out there tonight, at least here where I live. It is September 25th, 2021, about 7:06 p.m. California time. The latest quake on the globe is a 4.7 earthquake in this region of the world, south of South Africa, out there around the Africa and the Antarctica plate. It's a movement taking place there today, a 5.8 prior to this, but this was much earlier in the day, indicating those red rings there, that 5.8 that is. But anyway, we're looking at a little aftershock in that region, a 4.7 for the latest quake on the globe. So what's going on out here? A lot of movement taking place over the last 24 hours, not only down there in the South Atlantic Ocean region, but also around the Puerto Rico area, where we're seeing quite a bit of movement, including a 5.1 that struck last night. Of course, this is a ways away from Puerto Rico, around St. John's region, but still within the vicinity of the Puerto Rico Trench area, and this is a region we need to watch pretty closely for some megaquake possibility. Do I dare say that word? Yes, I do. It would not be a good sign or a good thing to happen. Looking over here towards the southwest area of Puerto Rico, still seeing some swarming activity in that region, mostly 2s and 3s. A little earthquake up here, a little 3.3, kind of closer to the, what is this, the Mona Seamount area, Puerto Rico Trench region. Looks pretty quiet right now, at least here in this area, and specifically in the Trench region, but still something to keep an eye on pretty closely. New Madrid area today. Looks like it's calming down. I know we've seen some activity ramp up yesterday in this area. Right now, things look like they're calming down a little bit, at least for the 2.5 and above. The all magnitudes, not really that much more in this area, but there is a little line of quakes kind of oddly stretching from this 4.0 in Mexico all the way up to the New Madrid area in a line. That's pretty crazy. Appalachian Mountains area, 2.5, and near Marshall, North Carolina. I think that's an older earthquake, possibly from late last night. We are still seeing some movement along the Northern California coastline, the Cascadia Subduction Zone, where we're looking at a massive amount of tremors continuing today. Let's go ahead and jump right into the tremor department in the PNSN Pacific Northwest Seismic Network page. These folks are the one to pick up when you want to know about the tremor activity into the Pacific Northwest, the sleeping giant known as the Cascadia Subduction Zone. It's a sleeping monster, no doubt. So today, just today alone, folks, 571 tremors in those same areas, Southern Oregon, right there along the just west of Medford, and Northern California, just east of Eureka. Now, this is not happening at the surface, but more so about 25, 35 kilometers downstream, down dip here in the area where you get a lot of slippage between the plate, North American plate, and the Juan de Fuca plate. Now, yes, we do get quite a bit of movement there on occasion. We absolutely do, but we're looking at quite a bit. I mean, let's go ahead and check out over... Let's just go back the last 3 days of activity and see what we come up with for a tally. It's quite a bit. Last 3 days, 1,746 tremor epicenters. Here is the M energy release over here on the side. That's a lot of movement, folks, and it's all confined to the southern end of the Cascadia. I don't know if we're just finally playing catch up, because there's no doubt there's been a lot of times where the north part of the Cascadia shows signs of tremor on weeks on end, I should say. So it's possible we could be playing catch up here in this area of the Cascadia, but it's not. It can't be a good thing. It can't be, okay, well, everything's being relieved now in this area. It's not being relieved, it's being built up. Slippage in definition creates back building of pressure upstream at the locked area of the Cascadia Subduction Zone. So we're watching this movement pretty closely, folks. It's a lot of tremor to take place just in a short amount of time. On the, let's go back over here to the all magnitudes map again. And there's not a whole lot going on up here at the surface, but we are seeing a few signs of some surface quaking, 2.1 in the mountains here in Northern California, and also off just to the west of the Cascadia megathrust area. A 2.9 struck earlier today at 8 kilometers. So there is no doubt back building of pressure in this region. I mean, it's obvious. It's completely obvious. How much pressure is being applied or transmitted up here, who knows? All I know is the more tremor, I think the more pressure up here along the Cascadia Subduction Zone, which increases the likelihood of a Cascadia megaquake. Movement throughout the San Jacinto fault area looking pretty average today. Not too much swarming along these fault systems today. Just looks like your typical everyday California earthquake number there on the San Jacinto fault area. We are seeing some movement along the San Andreas fault on both sides of the plate boundary here. No new movement in this area since my update video earlier today. Garlock fault structure looks pretty calm at the moment. That's this shear fault system. Kind of runs east to west, west to east. Somewhat opposite of what you normally see here along the plate boundary of the north to south movement. Still seeing some activity around Mono Lake up here to the north, but also around Mammoth Lakes. A little swarming of activity just to the west of Long Valley supervolcano. And of course up here in the Antelope Valley area, just getting a wide swath of earthquake movement here in this region, folks. You know, it's something to watch. Let me tell you, it's something to watch. Bay Area as well. Seen some movement along the Calaveras and the Hayward fault systems up here just south of San Jose, or north of San Jose, excuse me. Little one over here by San Jose, a 0.9. And also some further movement along the creeping section of the San Andreas fault. Over here, the Aleutian Trench, pretty quiet. Japan remains awfully quiet. And a little bit of activity near Taiwan, 5.0. And also over here to the east, 4.6. There is the deep earthquake movement taking place in the Fiji Islands that we talked about earlier. 638 kilometers for one of those 5.3 earthquakes. That's pretty deep movement, folks. We haven't seen any adjustment yet along the surface up here in the Pacific Plate region, but seen some oddball earthquake activity, at least one oddball. I could probably call it two. Got a 3.9 way out here. Southwest of Honolulu. Big Island sits down here. We don't see activity in this region too often. Let's check out the map here and show you guys what these guys are stating. This here is earthquake activity since 1900 to 2015 time frame. Looks like 4.5 and above. Of course, that earthquake that registered today was a 3.9, but you can see within this region it's not historically active when it comes to producing earthquakes. Yes, there has been a couple sporadic earthquakes between the 4.5 and 5.0 threshold, and then of course over here things really start to ramp up. But getting away from the islands there, we just don't see it too often. But something to keep an eye on, because this is about 14 kilometers below surface. There was another little one out here, a 2.6 off of the Big Island at 2 kilometers. We are seeing an uptick in earthquake activity stretching down towards the Lohi Seamount. That's the underwater volcano. That thing would not be good to have an eruption. I'm not for sure exactly what the possibility is, but we do have some earthquakes stretching down there just to the north of this area, about 5 to 10 miles. Of course, average earthquake activity in this region we've been watching for a couple years at least. Seems like this is ongoing, and it won't stop. It's continuing. There is some movement around the Kilauea volcano. Once again, the crater area. You can see quite a bit of microquakes within that region, and some movement further up north towards the Mountain View area. What else we got down here? The South Sandwich Islands has gone absolutely quiet today. You can see no earthquake activity being reported by the USGS in that region. A couple small quakes in the Peru-Chile Trench region. Both of those earthquakes fairly deep into the subduction zone there near Argentina and Chile. So what else we got here, folks? Like I say, some pretty crazy activity going on. You know, I think it's kind of gearing up to something major. Just can't put my finger on it at the moment. All I know is the Cascadia is definitely looking like it could be up there on the list of things to happen, especially with that tremor activity really ramping up over the last few days, so we will watch that pretty closely. The Yellowstone seismograph stations here show dwindling activity. It looks pretty calm in the Yellowstone supervolcano. No magma movement and no swarming activity to report at Yellowstone. Remains awfully quiet for the moment. All right, folks, just real quick, let's see. I'm going to get back into the pictures here real soon, far as posting viewer photos. So if you want to get your photos shown here on the channel, send me your photo to the earthmastermail@gmail.com. earthmastermail@gmail.com is the email. And please include location, date, your name, and maybe what we're looking at, like a brief description. Also, Missy Mimi's a big fan of the channel and also part of the channel, moderator and pretty much co-owner here on the Earthmaster channel, has a channel herself, and she's absent from this side of the mic right now. But she is out there listening, and I did tell her I'd give her a shout out to her channel. She is a storm chaser here in Northern California, just like me. She's majorly big into photography and also doing quite a bit of covers when it comes to music and whatnot on the YouTube channel that she runs. So go check out Missy Mimi's YouTube channel. I'm going to include it in the link below. She's got some really cool storm videos and whatnot. Also, all sorts of stuff. So she's kind of like a weather enthusiast, just like me, and I'm definitely glad to have her as part of the channel here, and that will only continue in the future as we continue. So go check it out, Missy Mimi's video channel on the YouTube description. Check it out. All right, guys, have a good night. We will chat you guys a little bit later. Stay safe out there and be prepared. There's a lot of stuff brewing out here. Peace out.